Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. The name is Ninja Knight. Make sure you like the video, make sure you share the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Thank you. So today we have now gotten reveals of rumoured figures that I had talked about in previous videos of Flint and Lady Jaye from the G.I. Joe Classified series. Now this is something that I'm very excited about. It's a line I greatly like. It's extremely difficult to get out here in Ireland, and with the Target exclusives I feel like that's caused a problem for general collectors as well too, because they haven't been able to get certain figures, and some of those figures are quite important. Firefly, Baroness, Cobra Trooper, these are important figures within this line, and you're going to have the Viper as well too. That's going to be a Target exclusive, which means that's difficult to get. Something I noticed about these two figures when they went up for pre-order, a lot of places said that these guys were one per person or two per person. That's a very interesting thing to do, to limit these figures in that way. It would suggest to me that the production batch for this is either low, these were either planned exclusives perhaps, or maybe there's been some serious rejig within this line. Is this line successful would be another question that I might raise. I would assume it would be, because of the scarcity of the figures that I'm seeing people are talking about and having genuine complaints about in the forums and in various different groups. A lot of people are asking where are these figures. They're all bought up and then they're sold for double, triple, quadruple, maybe sometimes the price. So I think one of the lines that's in this is interesting to see that, and I'm curious where this is going to go. They're focusing an awful lot on the 3.75 inch figures, and they seem to be just doing drip feeds of these 6-inch figures. It seems quite strange in my opinion. Yo Joe revealed today during Fan First Friday, these G.I. Joe Classified series Flint and Lady Jaye figures are coming in hot. Now I reported on that not too long ago. I do expect to see Major Blood. I think he might come in a wave now, perhaps either with these guys or maybe on his own, or perhaps maybe they might put someone forward, maybe the likes of Shipwreck or maybe Snowjob, or somebody else then from Cobra could come with Major Blood, because those movie figures of Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes I don't think will be released anytime soon. That's really hurt, I think, probably Hasbro in that whole situation with what's happening with Hollywood at the moment and the shutdowns. Decked out with detailed character inspired accessories and updated classic designs, these are a must have in your G.I. Joe collection. All of these figures in my opinion are a must have. The ability to get them though, on the other hand, is quite difficult. Pre-order them today starting at 1 PM ET on Hasbro Pulse. Each sold separately. Then they make this comment, subject to availability. Now I know a lot of people can say, oh yeah, well, that's possible because we want them to sell, we want people to be able to buy them, not everyone's going to be able to get them, so it is what it is. That to me is a bit of a strange remark in itself. This is a very young line in my opinion, and this line should be absolutely full on. Like the way they have with Transformers, they should be having these in every shelf space they can, wherever they can, and producing these as much as they can. I've not seen shelf warmers of G.I. Joe Classified series anywhere. That's what I've seen of the minimal amount that we've gotten so far. And I mean, we've been missing Duke. I haven't seen Duke in a normal store. Only speciality shops here in Ireland are getting them. Not the general stores, they're not getting these figures, which is baffling in itself. So it's either a problem with marketing here with Hasbro, that they don't understand how to work this, or they actually don't feel confident within this 6-inch line. Very strange. But anyway, here we have the figures that I talked about recently and that they have been revealed. Now I have to say they've done something incredibly clever with Lady Jaye. Now I'll talk about the face sculpt in a moment, but the hair sculpt, that they have a switching hair sculpt, as we can see here between the first picture and the second picture, with a hair and hat sculpt, so you're able to plug it out and plug it in. That's brilliant. I think that is absolutely fantastic, and I think that is a good idea, particularly for these characters that do wear hats, and that if you want to have it firmly on their head, that it does work in as a piece. As you will notice as well too here, look at this. That is a double elbow joint on a female figure. An awful lot of people have been looking for that, and we are getting it. This is fantastic. The sculpt work on this figure as well is absolutely excellent. Lady Jaye is a character I'm a big fan of. I have to say I absolutely loved the Scarlet figure from the first wave, and I thought that any other characters we're going to get from G.I. Joe, particularly the women, were going to be as good looking as Scarlet has been and as Baroness has been. I can't say the same for Lady Jaye. I feel like something went wrong with the sculpting of the face here, and I'm a little bit disappointed with that, because you would consider Lady Jaye to be probably the most attractive looking G.I. Joe character, female wise, and with Scarlet being there as well too, being attractive in my eyes, it's very weird to see a character not have that attractiveness sculpted in. This is a problem in my opinion with Hasbro. They do have a problem with sculpting female faces. They've recently done a Marvel Legends Jean Grey that looks absolutely incredible. They've now done Rogue recently that a lot of people have had complaints about. And when I seen this shown in the live stream, I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest with you, because I thought they could have done a lot better. So we have her in Flint here. She comes with a backpack. She has her knife, plenty of gear as we could see there with the spears. And then she has a camcorder set, sort of like a GoPro, as they announced within the live stream. And I think that looks pretty cool. Overall, it's a lovely sculpt. It's just a pity about the face sculpt in my opinion. Here we have Flint, and I think Flint looks really good. I do see an awful lot of similarity to Duke within this face here as well too. I don't know if that's just me, but I think if you have the same sculptor on the same lines, there is a tendency for it to fall into kind of similarities. We do see it within some of the lines that we have at the moment, the likes of the Marvel Legends. At times there are very similar looking face sculpts that do get reused constantly as well, so I would like to see a greater variety. I suppose they have tried a greater variety with Lady Jaye, but in my opinion it hasn't worked out. Flint here comes packed with detail, and I absolutely love this figure. I have to say I really do like this with the body vest, and I have to say I really like the way the camo is printed on here and sort of engraved into the trousers with the knee pads. It seems like they've taken feedback as well too from the fans, in that in earlier waves we've seen bright colours, light golds and stuff like that. It seems like they've dropped that kind of coloration now, and certainly with this weapon here, this weapon looks a little bit more standard and a little less sci-fi. They're listening. And this is the thing with Hasbro. If you tell these guys you're looking for something in particular, they will listen if enough people do say, hey, we're looking for this. I know a lot of people weren't happy with the sort of sci-fi looking guns. Personally, I was happy enough with them. I thought they looked well. So we have here Flint, and he comes with his beret. And the beret is removable instead of trying him with the alternate hair and head sculpt. Now this is what I was saying about Lady Jaye. That's not a great looking face sculpt in my opinion. I think that is extremely weak. I don't think it looks good whatsoever. I think maybe if the jawline maybe was a little bit more slender, I suppose, it would have looked a lot better. To me, she just looks very plain. She should be called Plain Jane, maybe in my opinion, rather than Lady Jaye, because Lady Jaye, when you think of that character, you think of an absolutely stunning looking woman, and that's not it in my opinion. But ultimately, overall, the sculpt as well for the body is pretty good. I like it. I like the strap coming across. I like the way we have the communicator right here. I like the straps that are shown throughout the shoulder pads, the engraved detail that's happening here. I like the hat. I like the fact that it has the classified series on shape on the hat. I think that that's pretty cool. I think the GoPro with the articulation is cool. And like I said, double joints in a female figure, very cool. She has a very nice backpack as well too that comes with this storage unit that you can put some of the weapons in. And again, I think as fans, we love that when you can store the weapons somewhere the character can hold on to. Here's the storage for Flint. I would have liked the storage maybe to be a bit higher rather than that low, but I suppose with a sort of shotgun that he's carrying, it does make for a different silhouette, and I think that that's probably what they were going for, and it does look decent in my opinion. I think he looks really cool. Again, like I said, look at that face sculpt. It's very distracting. I like the head sculpt of Flint. It's not too bad. Again, like I said, it looks a little bit like Duke in my opinion, but I think overall there is a nice variation, particularly with the hair. He is, in saying that, kind of the same haircut as Duke as well, with the sort of skin fade that comes up into this sort of longer hair on the top. Maybe if they had to give them kind of an all sort of skinhead, maybe not an actual skinhead, but very light hair going on throughout this, particularly with the beret on the top, maybe it would have looked well. But I think they've done an okay job with this one. And here's the impacted shots of this, and I have to say the artwork looks great. But look at that artwork for Lady Jaye. I mean, look at the cheek and the jawline that comes in there, and look at the jawline I pointed out earlier on. Look at the shading as well too that's on the face and the way the face looks, and then look at this here. It looks like, I don't even want to say it looks so bad. Like, in my opinion, that head sculpt looks really poor. And I think when you look at the box art, maybe the sculptor could have looked at the box art and had that art done before he decided to sculpt it. If I'm not mistaken, this is the same guy that sculpts the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, and in my opinion, a very weak sculptor at times, and other times a very good sculptor. So it seems like he's very hit and miss. His name is Corey, and I would like to see him overall improve. I do think maybe he's been stretched too far. It's very possible that he's been stretched between the two lines and it's just too much, and this to me looks like it was cobbled together very quickly. It looks like it was kind of like, well, I don't really care. And we've seen that within the Power Rangers Lightning Collection line. We've seen some of the female figures, particularly the head sculpt, struggle really badly. And it's something I don't want to see carrying over here now into the G.I. Joe line, in my opinion. So we have here Flint. Looks good. Again, like I said, the artist rendition here I think is fantastic. And then you come and look at the head sculpt and like I said, it looks a little bit cartoony in my opinion. Whereas if they had something a little bit more close, a little bit more realistic like this artwork here is absolutely outstanding. If they had something closer to that, it would look great. But look, I mean, look at the head. The head looks absolutely enormous. It looks very long and very, very cartoony, like I said. Maybe that's the idea. Maybe they want these to blur the line between standing with your MCU characters and standing with your Marvel Legends. I don't really know what the plan is here. So we have the shotgun here and we have the gun. Flint doesn't come with a lot of accessories. It is to note that one. Lady Jaye does come with a good few accessories, but it seems like the accessories seem to be dwindling as well too as this line moves on. So have they got the hooks in and said to people, look, we already know you're in here, we're just going to give you the bare minimum and still charge you the same price? We'll wait and see. The colours are more muted as well too, as you can see between these two characters. They did state a number of times within the stream that these are an incredible duo, they're a duo, they're a duo. They did say that a number of times. So something suggests me that with the limited availability that they had of these figures, these two could have possibly been some sort of exclusive. I think that these could have been, now don't quote me on this, and this is just speculation, it's possible these characters could have been SDCC exclusives. It could be that there's some sort of exclusive maybe with the limited availability that they have talked about, and with the fact that they only revealed 2 today rather than more. I would have liked to see a wave today. I would have liked to say, here's a wave, this is what we're getting. There's nowhere from what I've seen already that is putting the next wave of G.I. Joe up that's including these 2 figures yet. They're not saying like Flint, Lady Jaye and 2 unnamed characters. I haven't seen that yet, and until I do, I think that these could have possibly been some sort of exclusive, and this is how they're going to move them out. I suppose we'll wait and see, or either we'll never know. But I would love to know if they were, or if they weren't, or if these characters are just subject to availability due to what's going on at the moment and they're just not having the amount to be able to push out at the moment. So what do you think about these 2 figures? I did talk about these recently in rumours. It looks like that I was correct on the rumours that I had received and had heard about who was going to be in this line. I do suspect that we will see a switcheroo for Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes from the movie versions, possibly, unless they decide to move to streaming with that movie. We'll wait and see. Other films have done that now as at the moment, and I suppose we are going to wait and see on that one. I would like to see what's coming next in this line. I don't know if Hasbro have the confidence in this line that I do, and the like and the love in this line that I do. They're releasing figures in dribs and drabs. They're making exclusives of a large chunk of some fairly important characters, which I think is ridiculous this early into a line as well. And I think at the moment they look like they're pushing a lot harder with the 3.75 inch figures. I know an awful lot of people are probably delighted with that, and 3.75 is all they wanted. But I have to say, as somebody that's a big fan of G.I. Joe, 6-inch figures is where it's at for me, and I really want to see the quality continue to be good. I want to see the accessories continue to be good. I want to see the portraits get better, because I feel like they've dipped at the minute, and I feel like they have to get better. And I would suggest, I know it's trying times, put one person on a line. Don't stretch them over 2 lines, in my opinion, because I think that's really shown, and it's starting to show. Some of these things look way cartoony. I mean, if you've seen these 2 head sculpts and said they're in Fortnite, I think you'd probably shrug and say, yeah, probably. But here we are with Hasbro, and we have fantastic artwork here. I mean, look at that face sculpt. Look at that face sculpt. And this is what we've ended up with. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think. Anyway, let me know in the comments below. Are you disappointed with the reveals from today for the 6-inch classified series, or were you really happy to see this? Do you agree with me on the face sculpts with these characters that they seem to be getting a bit weaker? And would you have liked to see an unimproved and updated looking face sculpt on Lady Jaye? To me, Lady Jaye looks really off, in my opinion. Who else would you have liked to see in a reveal today? I have talked about Major Blood. Would you have liked to see them fast forward somebody else like Shipwreck, or maybe even Snowjob, or someone like Wild Bill maybe that could have swapped in? instead of the movie figures. You would think Hasbro as a conglomerate company would be thinking 2 and 3 steps ahead, and they would make switcheroos when they've needed to do. But we've seen Lions stagnate now. We've seen Ghostbusters Plasma Series stagnate now because of the movie waiting. We've seen the G.I. Joe line, it seems to stagnate at the moment because they're waiting for the movie figures. They probably have those movie figures ready to go, and that probably caused an awful lot of havoc at the moment. But I would say, if the movie figures are being held back, there's time to tweak them. Not that I'm going to pick them movie figures up, though, I don't think. But there is time to tweak them, and that's what I'd be doing. And if they don't come out perfect, I would certainly have some questions about what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. Make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and I'll talk to you later. Yo, Joe.